Welcome to My The Asshole Podcast. Let's get into it. Welcome to My The Asshole Podcast. Today is Tuesday. Yes, it is. It is Tuesday. It's the start of the week, and hopefully you guys are having a good start to the week. And hopefully you're enjoying that good start of the week with some of My The Asshole Podcast. Man, hopefully you guys are having a good day. It is Thanksgiving week, so hopefully you guys are ready for getting fat and eating some food. Hopefully you guys have your Thanksgiving pants ready. You guys will still be getting an episode on Thursday, even though it's going to be Thanksgiving. Don't worry. You guys will still get your book. I know. I just because it's a holiday, your boy don't take day off. All right. Just because it's a holiday does not mean your boy is going to take a day off. All right. You guys will still get your Thursday episode. Don't you worry about it. Okay? Don't you worry about it. And Christmas is going to be the same thing, as well as, New Year's. New Year's is on a Wednesday, but I think Christmas is on a Thursday. If I'm correct on that, I might be. Hold on, let me double check. Let me triple check for y'all. Hold up, because I think Christmas is on a Christmas. Yeah, it is. It's on a Thursday. It's on a Thursday. So yeah. So it is on a Thursday. So you guys will be getting an episode on Thanksgiving. You guys will be getting an episode on Christmas. So don't think that just because it's holidays that your boy ain't giving you guys, your book. I got you. All right. I got you. Papa's got you. All right. So, again, hope you guys are having a good start to the week. Let's get into our thread for today. Today's thread is pretty interesting. All right. This thread was actually recommended by one of my supporters, and I thought it was super interesting. I was like, So the thread is, people who live in apartment buildings, what's the most unexpected thing that you've accidentally seen through a neighbor's window? And it's crazy because I live in an apartment complex, and so whenever I'm just walking around, people leave their windows open. People leave their screen door open. All that kind of stuff. You can see right into their motherfucking shit. It's crazy. It is a little weird. And a lot of times, you don't want to really be like that nosy. But at the same time, you like, man, the urge to be chismoso is just there. I'm just saying. The urge just be there. You be like, I can. Oh, what y'all got going on in there? You know what I mean? It's weird. It's weird. But I'm excited to see, what y'all seeing. You know what I mean? So let's see what's up. Okay. So people who live in apartment buildings, what is the most unexpected thing that you've seen? My upstairs neighbor was giving a PowerPoint presentation to her cats. Like she had slides, charts, pointer stick. The cats were asleep. She kept presentating. That is crazy. That is crazy. But I mean, if I'm being honest with you, if she's practicing for like her class or for her work or something like that, hey man, you gotta perform in front of somebody. I know I be doing that shit, because I live alone. So since I live alone, a lot of times, when I'm doing like the podcast or when I'm doing, streaming or anything like that, a lot of times, I have a lot of time where I'm just talking to myself. It's weird. Like I'm talking to myself, but I'm not, because I'm talking to you guys. But, it is a little weird. And I'm sure if, because I tend to try to keep my blinds closed. But there have been some days where, I've left my blinds open to kind of let air through, especially during the summertime, because it gets hot as fuck having all this equipment on. And this fucking, overhead light, because this overhead light gets hot. I ain't gonna lie to you. Having this bright ass light on you all the time, it gets hot. And so there are some times where some people will kind of look in and they'll see me and, and I'm just, yeah, you know what I mean? Just talking and doing all this kind of stuff. And it looks weird, and I'm sure there's some people that have caught me doing the podcast, and so her doing the PowerPoint, it makes sense, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you, facts. People who live in apartment buildings, what is the, most unexpected thing that you've seen? goats, a handful of goats. I was just taking my trash out and there was a sound I didn't recognize. I turned to look and there were 2 goats in my neighbor's apartment. What the fuck? She was rather baffled when I asked about her here-seen guests a few days later. Turns out her boyfriend had rented a bunch of goats to play a prank on his best friend. He felt bad leaving the goats in the truck, so he brought them in the apartment for a few hours until he packed them back up and drove them away to do the prank without telling my neighbor. Yo, that's crazy. First off, you can rent goats. Where? Where is rentagoat.com? I feel like if you Google that, you would actually find rentagoat.com. I ain't gonna lie to you. I feel like you would actually find that. That's probably the craziest thing about that. Like once I said it, I was like, you know what? That ain't that outlandish. I think rentagoat.com probably actually exists. And then on top of that, it's just like, why in the hell would you be pranking your friend with goats? I don't know. Okay, I guess. But that's crazy. That's some crazy shit to me. The fact that there's just goats chilling. Like imagine taking out your trash and you're just like, yeah, and you just hear, and you're like, what the fuck? Huh? You just hear, you know, because goats do this little weird, like, they do this weird noise. And sometimes they'll like mimic sheep. And so, you know, you're like, all right, whatever. And then you start walking by and you make eye contact with a fucking goat through the window. And you're just like, nah, there ain't no way that's a goat, fam. There ain't no way that's a goat. Like, what the fuck? I would have walked up to their door too. Bro, I'd have been like, hey, y'all got a goat in that window? I could have swore I saw a goat. Like, he saw me, see him, see me. I could have swore we locked eyes. And they're like, yeah, we got goats in here, fam. Like, you guys got, where the fuck you get goats? And he was like, you know, rentagoat.com, dog. Rentagoat.com. You know, you hop on there, you rent a goat. We about to go, you know, throw a prank on my friends with this goats. But yeah, we rented a goat for a day. Like, that's some crazy shit. I'd freak the fuck out if I saw a goat in somebody's apartment. I ain't gonna lie to you. All right, people who live in apartment buildings, what is the most bizarre thing you've seen? Several years ago, my new girlfriend and I visited my boss and family at their Cape house, and they put us up for the night in their basement spare bedroom. We all go to sleep, and we began to hear the squeak, squeak, squeak of bed springs. I smile and didn't say anything to my girl, but then I went on for like a 45 minutes straight with no let up. Being kind of uncomfortable, my girlfriend and I started giggling and laughing, knowing what was going on. The next morning, we walked upstairs somewhat sheepishly for breakfast. Right off the bat, the wife goes, I hope Kyle, their very young son, didn't keep you awake last night. He has a terrible time falling asleep and can jump around in his bed/crib forever. We both lost it and had to explain to our host what we thought was going on. Oh, that's crazy. That's crazy. They were just like, oh shit, damn, old boss over there just laying down pipe. You know what I mean? Mans is out there just laying down pipe on that coochie. Damn. Hey, baby, that's making me kind of horny. Come here. And then they wake up and they're like, oh, I think they were lying. I ain't going to lie to you. I think they were lying, bro. I think they were lying to just make it seem like, oh, yeah, my son, you know, it's hard for him to go to sleep sometimes. It's so like, yeah, he jumps around in his bed all day, all night long, you know. I think they was lying. He was laying down that pipe. Because I know if I was in that position where I was laying down pipe and I know the bed was kind of loud and it's a possibility that they could have heard, yeah, I would lie too. I'd be like, yeah, my son, you know, my kid, he was doing backflips and you know what I mean, and shit like that. Like, I ain't gonna lie to you. I would lie too. I would like, there ain't no way I'm putting the image of me piping my wife down, you know, and I got guests in the house. Like, let's just be honest here. I don't want to put that image in their head, even though that's what was going down. You know, I was laying down some pipe in that coochie, but I'm not going to sit there and tell them that. Like, you know what I mean? So, yeah. Yeah, if I'm being honest with you, I think they was capping. I do. I think they was lying. All right, people who live in an apartment building, what is the most bizarre thing you've seen? Looked outside once and saw my neighbor gently blow drying a turtle. I didn't even know she owned a turtle. Still confused to this day. Why the fuck were you blow drying a turtle? That's what caught me. Like, sure, own a turtle. Do what you gonna do. You know what I mean? But why are you blow drying it? Like, what did you need to blow dry a turtle for? And did the turtle like it? Or was the turtle low-key terrified? Because, I mean, a blow dryer is loud as fuck. Imagine being a little-ass turtle and you see this big-ass fucking thing in front of your face and it's just blowing air in your face. Like, bro, I'd be up in my shell. I'd be up in my shell like, what the fuck is going on? The world is ending. This big-ass thing in front of me is blowing hot air at me. The world is over. It is ending. This is how I die. Like, man. But yeah, okay. All right. Blow drying a turtle. Damn. People who live in apartment buildings, what is the most bizarre thing you've seen? I rarely wake up in the middle of the night. I usually sleep all the way through. Woke up one morning, just couldn't sleep, like 3 a.m. Had a busy day the next day. Went to the bathroom and came back, and way in the distance, somehow my eyes locked on and I saw two tiny people up against a glass window going to town. Oh, baby. Okay. Butt was smashed against the full-size floor to ceiling, wall-to-wall window. Then they swapped to her chest against it instead. Laughed, went to bed, looked over there in the morning and realized it was the stairwell to their building, not even an apartment. Yo! They was 3M fucking in the stairwell. That's crazy. Hey, some people got it like that, man. You know what I mean? They got it like that. That's crazy, son. That is absolutely wild. Yeah. You know he beat his meat to that. Come on now. You saw them titties on that wall and you was just like, yeah. I'm about to stroke one before I go to sleep. Come on, man. I know you. Why you lying out here? Why you lying in these streets? You know you stroked one. I would. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I would have saw them titties and I'd have been like, ooh. Oh, yeah, he fucking the shit out that girl. Damn. Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm beating my dick. Like, bro, what are we talking about? I'd be like, yeah, I am stroking my meat. You know, I load up the hub real quick. I would load up the hub real quick. I mean, what else am I doing at 3 a.m? I can't go to sleep. You know what I mean? And then I just saw a nice pair of titties across the way. So yeah. This is God's sign to say, my son, this is how you go back to bed. Stroke that chicken real quick, get one off, and go to bed, boy. Go to bed. This is the divine power at this point. Come on now. They say, God sends you signs when you need it the most. All right? And I think that right there was a sign from the divine saying, hey, man, you need to go to bed. And this is how you gonna go to bed, man. You know what I mean? This gonna spark it, get you in the mood, and then you gonna load up that hub, stroke that chicken real quick, and then you gonna be out like a light, my guy. You gonna be out like a light. Like I said, man, you know, signs they come when you need them the most. I'm just saying. You know, I'm just saying, hey, I am just the shepherd sending the message, all right? You know, that's just what it is. Because, like I said, I would. I ain't going to cap. I ain't going to lie to y'all right now. I would. All right, people who live in an apartment building, what is the most bizarre thing you've seen? The The guy across the courtyard used to shave naked at the sink in front of his bathroom window. The reason I know he was naked is because in the summer he'd open the bottom half and the frosted window provided a perfect view of his package. That's crazy. He was very well endowed, a point mentioned more than once by my live-in girlfriend. Yo! Oh, bruh! Oh no, never saw his face, so I don't know who he was. Bro, the fact that she saw his mushroom tip and was just like, wow, your neighbor is well endowed. Cooked. I mean, think about it, bro. All it takes is one night of you not satisfying her, and then she's immediately going to go to the thought in the image of your neighbor's well-endowed package and be like, yum, I bet that guy can actually satisfy me and not this chump. Oh, son. I mean, look, I ain't sitting here saying that that's what she did. I'm just saying that's a possibility of something that could happen. And if it did happen, say y'all broke up or whatever the case may be, and then I know her, you see your girl, you know what I mean? You see her titties on the wall at 3 a.m. Oh, bruh. And you got to sit there and be stroking it to the hub. Like, bruh, I'm telling you, that's all bad, bruh. That's all bad. That would suck. I'd be mad. I'd be like, yeah, see, no, you're not allowed to look into his window no more. You ain't allowed to look into his window no more. Don't even think about it. I don't want to catch you looking over there no more. You know what I mean? Over here talking about he's well endowed. Girl, ooh, what about me? Lie to me, please. Tell me I'm well endowed. You know what I mean? Damn. All right. People who live in an apartment, what is the most bizarre thing you've seen? I saw a dude through my binoculars looking back at me with a telescope. Nigga, that's crazy. That's some crazy shit. Y'all was just on the same type of time. That's what it was. You know, you guys were just on the same type of time. He's matching your freak. You know, he like, hey, me too, my guy. Me too, yeah. I'm trying to catch the single mom in 3A. You know, she got some jugs on her. I'm hoping she leaves her window open one day. You know what I mean? I'm trying to see them mommy milkers, my guy. Hey, shit, this man had a whole telescope. He was like, I ain't looking at the stars, baby. I'm trying to see something. I'm trying to see something. Like, what are we talking about? I got a whole ass telescope. I ain't looking at Jupiter and Mars. Nah, baby, nah. I'm trying to look at the single mom in 3A's jugs. You know what I mean? I'm trying to see a whole different constellation. Yeah, if you know what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? I'm just saying. All right, people who live in apartment buildings, what is the most bizarre thing you've seen? Not seen, but one day me and my wife were walking from our car to our apartment, maybe 11 p.m., and we hear a woman just exclaiming very loudly, I ain't never gone to bed, from outside her second-story apartment. To this day, one of us will randomly blurt out, I ain't never gone to bed, and both break out laughing. Yeah, some people don't realize like like we can hear you. Like we can hear you. They're louder and clearer than you think. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna lie to you. Louder and clearer than you think. And you the one thing I've gotten used to with apartment living is the fact that you hear your neighbors and they hear you. You know, so shit that you do and shit that you say and conversations that you have and stuff, they're hearing it. Whether you know it or not, they can hear it. You know, anytime you do a little something, you do something this or that, they can hear it. It's weird. It's a weird thing, but it's also like very normalized for people who are used to apartment living. But yeah, it's kind of crazy. It is kind of crazy. You don't realize like how well other people can fucking hear you. Okay, people who live in apartment buildings, what is the most bizarre thing you've seen? Saw my neighbor practicing a full breakup speech to his houseplants. He even paused for their response. Honestly, I respected the commitment. My man had to mentally prepare himself for this. I ain't gonna lie to you. I do that in the shower. All right. Arguments and stuff like that, and like debates and shit that I'm getting ready for, or that I'm talking about, or just some shit on my mind. I'll be in the shower and I'll be having full on fucking conversations, debates, and all of it, arguments. I'll be playing both sides, all that shit, man. Yeah, I'll be doing that a lot. Sometimes I even like scenarios that I've done, say I'll record an episode of the podcast, and there are certain scenarios and Am I the Asshole situations that I'll go through, and I'll be in the shower sometimes, and I'm like, damn, you know what? I could have said this, and I could have said that on the show. I could have said this and that, blah, blah, blah. Damn, I don't know why I didn't say that. Dang, I could have said that. I'll be doing that a lot. It's one of those things where like the podcast is so ingrained, in my everyday life, that even when I'm at work, or even when I'm in the shower, I'm just at home chilling. You know what I mean? Or I'm always just thinking about the scenarios like that I've gone over, and scenarios that I've done, stuff like that. And it'd be a little weird sometimes, but I like I said, you got to do it. You got to do it sometimes. And on top of that, it keeps you sharp, keeps you, what is it called? Keeps you, I guess you could say that. It just keeps you sharp. You know what I mean? Keeps you well versed, But I mean, for the breakup, especially with a girl that that is like far more into you than you are her. You're going to be dealing with tears. You're going to be dealing with feeling bad. You're going to be dealing with like a lot of different emotions and all this kind of stuff. You got to prepare yourself for a lot of that stuff. Because if you don't, you're going to end up feeling bad. And then you're going to take her back and be like, no, I was kidding. I was joking. And then you're sitting there and you're like, damn, now I'm with this girl that I don't even really like that. And I don't really want to be with her like that. A lot of dudes do that shit. A lot of dudes do that. Okay, this is going to be our last one for this thread. People who live in apartment buildings, what is the most bizarre thing you've seen? Not through a window, but my upstairs neighbor and his girl were getting it on. They did it for like over an hour. Banging and moans come from my ceiling. I know the couple and I'm cool with the guy, so it didn't bother me much since it was a decent hour. I saw him in our building's gym a few days later and told him I needed some of his stamina tips. He looked confused, and I told him that I heard him getting it on over the weekend, and that I was sure his girl would never leave him after how she sounded. He then said he was out of town over work. Over the weekend, my fucking heart sank to my stomach. She moved out shortly after, and he just looked like such a sad person after that. Every time I think about how bad I feel for him, I don't regret telling him. I would want to know if it was me. I hope he's doing good. He moved out months later. Yo. No. And that goes back to what I was saying, is that motherfuckers can hear you even though you don't think that they can. They can hear you a lot more clear than you think that they can hear you, bro. That's crazy. And he was trying to pay homeboy a compliment. Oh, no. Imagine somebody's trying to pay you a compliment, and that compliment turns into you finding out your girl was fucking some other dude and enjoying the shit out of it. Oh, I ain't gonna lie to you. If I heard something like that, and the fact that the dude was just like, oh yeah, man, your girl was moaning loud. She was enjoying the fuck out of it, man. I need some tips, dog. I would be like, wait. Like, it's bad enough she cheated, but the fact that she was enjoying it that much, and then homeboy was lasting for an hour plus. Like, I can't last no hour. I'm a 20 minutes tops. You know what I mean? I'd be sitting there like, oh, bruh, I'm a 20 minutes top nigga. Like, I can't do no hour. An hour? Are you sure? Are you sure? Did you time it? Cause it might have been like a long, 15 minutes or something. It was an hour. It was okay. All right, man. Nah, it's cool. It's cool. She was screaming. She was screaming. Oh, she was screaming so loud you could hear it through the floorboards. Oh Jesus. Oh Jesus, take me now. I'm ready to go home. Like I'm done. I'm done. Sign me out. I'm good. I'm ready to come home, Jesus. Oh my God. An hour. This man said an hour, bruh. Oh, I'm telling you, I couldn't hear that. I couldn't hear that from my girl, bro. Oh, I couldn't hear that my girl was getting fucked for an hour. Because like I said, I know me. I know my limitations. Like I go to the gym. I'm a pretty fit guy. But I'm telling you, son, 20 minutes tops. 20 minutes. Like I ain't gonna lie to you. I be trying to, survive a little longer, but I just can't. I can't. I'm a 20 minutes tops guy. And to hear an hour, to hear that you got a whole motherfucking, what is that? Another 30 minutes, 40 minutes on my ass? Oh, bruh. That's crazy. That's crazy. Because she ain't going back to you. She ain't going back to 20-minute humping after she had an hour. You know what I mean? She was getting humped for an hour. There ain't no way she going back, nigga. I'm just saying, bro. I'm just saying. I'd be destroyed. Oh my God. I hope that dude is doing good, man. I really do. I hope he found him a good girl that ain't out here getting humped by fucking Chad Thundercock for an absolute hour. You know what I mean? I hope the girl that he with enjoying however long he actually lasts. Because I ain't going to lie to you. Yeah. He's probably like a 20-minute with me. He probably like a 15 to 20 minute. And I'm sure that's why it hurts so much. Because I know if it was me, woo, oh, I'd be destroyed. I'd be like, bruh. Because it's one of those things. It's like, I'm 20 minutes on a good day. All right. Like, your boy hard to the tip and he got it on lock doing his thing. I'm focused. I'm laser beamed, ready to go. 20 minutes, But this man, if he did an hour not trying, oh, bruh. Oh, my God. Probably never date again. I'm telling you, son, that's crazy. You guys let me know what you think about everything that we've gone over in this thread. If you guys live in an apartment or somebody that lives in an apartment, if you've seen some crazy shit either through a window, your neighbors, you've been hearing it, whatever it may be, definitely let me know down in the comments because that was a juicy thread. Woo, that was juicy. Oh my gosh. We're going to hop through announcements and we're going to get right on into our scenarios for today. Okay. So, patreon.com/Am I the Asshole Podcast. Get an exclusive episode every single Friday, as well as being able to send in your scenario to be featured on the Tuesday and Sunday show like these lovely people did for today. The Patreon has been growing steady, and that's all thanks to you guys, and I do appreciate that so very much to see you guys showing interest in the Patreon. Even if you guys just, sign up for the Patreon just for a month. Even if you just sign up for a month and then you unsubscribe to it, that just lets me know. Thank you. I appreciate that. I obviously don't try to make it a mandatory thing. I try to give more free content than paid content. I look at it like my Patreon is for the people who just really fuck with me, who really vibe with the show, and they love seeing and coming back every week to the show. And they also want to help, fund the show and make it better. So thank you guys so much for all the support that you've been showing when it comes to the Patreon, whether you've donated, whether you are just a free member, whatever it may be. Thank you. I appreciate you so very much for just showing that kind of interest. All right. Audio listeners, thank you guys so much for all the support. You guys are the GOATs, man. It is crazy because I have hit a point where I didn't really think I was going to hit this level. And it's mainly on the audio side of thing. I think more people listen to the podcast on the audio side versus watching it on YouTube and stuff like that, which I don't mind. It is what it is. You guys do come over and show support, and you subscribe on YouTube and all that kind of stuff, and I do appreciate that so very much, because it does help, and it is free. You know what I mean? But the fact that you guys come and you guys download and hang out, I mean, the fact that we have like 2,400 concurring downloads every month, over 500 concurring downloads a week, like those kind of things. Yeah, they're just numbers, but to me, it shows me like, wow, there are real people out there that enjoy the show, that they come back every week. You know what I mean? This is not like a static number where it's just like, oh, you got this within 7 days. No, this is concurrent numbers where this is week over week over week, and so I just wanted you guys to know that, and for you guys to really understand how much that means to me, that you guys are coming back, you're downloading, and that makes my day. I ain't gonna lie to you. It makes my day. You guys just hitting that download button makes my day. I really appreciate that you guys come back every week. Even if you guys just listen to the Thursday episodes, or you just listen to the Thursday and the Sunday episodes for the books, or you listen to everything. Whatever it is that is your cup of tea that you enjoy, I'm so grateful and so glad that you guys come out and you hang out with your boy for an hour, for a couple of laughs, couple of scenarios and juiciness and all that good stuff, the juicy threads and all whatever it is that you like this show for. I do appreciate you guys supporting. Thank you guys so much for that. So keep downloading the episodes, rating us 5 stars on your preferred platform. If you want to help us out even more on the free 99 side of things, go ahead and follow us on Instagram, TikTok, as well as YouTube. All that is free, and it helps out so very much. Thank you so much. Let's get right on into today's scenarios. We got our first one. It is the office work wife and work husband making out. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Okay. I saw my coworkers, 40 female and 54 male, making out after saying goodbye in the office. I know one of them is married. They are very friendly to each other, but I never thought that they would cross that line. If I were to do one, or if I were one of their spouses, I would want to know, do I tell the spouse, or do I pretend I didn't see anything? I ain't gonna lie to you. On the Patreon episode, we had a situation just like this. Crazy enough. On the Patreon episode, we just had a situation like this. And I'm gonna give the same advice that I gave the other dude. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. Mind your business. I know you a little chismoso and you want to see it burn on top of them and you want to see it crumble. I get it. I'm that way sometimes too. I ain't gonna lie to you. But you don't really know like what's going on in those people's relationships, because you don't know if they're married but separated. You don't know if they have an open relationship, because they are on the older side. So they might have a little bit of an open relationship style thing, to kind of spice it up, to kind of make it seem a little less mundane. That way it's like, ooh, you can go mess with other people a little bit and then come back to me, and it is what it is. You just don't know what's going on in the background. And so if you were to say something and then they come to you like, oh, well, yeah, I know she's making out with homeboy because we have an open relationship. She tells me about it all the time. Or it's a thing where, well, we're married, but we're separated. So, if she's doing that, it is what it is. You never know what's kind of going on in people's situations. And for you to kind of like put yourself in between that, and then you may be wrong, that kind of only makes you look dumb. And then on top of that, it kind of makes them feel some type of way towards you. Like, wow, dude, really? So again, that's why I think it's best for you to just watch. Sit back, grab your popcorn, and watch. Because I ain't gonna lie to you, if they're doing some shit that they're not supposed to be doing, it's gonna happen regardless. Without you even, intervening and being a part of it and all that kind of stuff. It's just going to happen naturally, But if it's a thing where they just keep on keeping on and it doesn't seem like they're getting caught or anything is happening, well, it might be a thing where, they're separated but married, they have an open relationship, or there might just be a little something going on to where, they're just okay with it. So again, I wouldn't put myself in between that. I would just sit back, let it be what it gonna be, and just do that. So I don't know. You guys let me know what you think about it in the comments, but that's just my 2 cents. All right, on to our next one. Found out because one stupid message preview. Uh-oh. I, 31 male, been with my girlfriend, 32 female, for almost 3 years. We moved in together last fall. Talked about maybe getting engaged this year. All the grown-up life stuff. Last week, I was making dinner and her phone lit up on the counter. A guy I didn't know texted, still thinking about that thing you said in the elevator. It was the emoji that hit me. She only used that one when she's flirting. Uh-oh.
She belongs to the streets.
Later that night, I looked, yeah, I know, and there were months of messages. Started off harmless, then turned into long emotional conversations, lunch meetups, I felt different with you type stuff. Ooh, she hit him with the I feel different around you. Oh, no. Ooh. Because I feel like once a girl starts, omitting shit where they're just like, oh my God, I feel like I can really be myself with you. Oh my God, I feel so different around you. Oh my God, I feel like, I feel so comfortable around you. Like once a girl starts omitting that kind of shit, that means she got real feelings. You know what I mean? This is not just to like, oh, I'm entertaining it and I'm just playing around. No, she really got some feelings. Ooh. She swears it wasn't physical, but honestly, that almost feels worse. Someone else got a part of her I thought was mine. Oh, I packed a bag and I'm staying with my cousin in Uptown while I figure out the lease, the bills, the whole adult mess that comes with breaking up after living together. If you've been through something like this, how do you even start feeling normal again? Oh, man. If I had a quarter for every time a dude has written into this show and been like, me and my girlfriend broke up, what do I do? Bruh. Oh my God. I probably wouldn't be a rich man, but I'd have a good little, I'd have a good little coin purse. I ain't gonna lie to you. And it's why I don't really like doing these scenarios a lot. I mean, I cover them every once in a while just to kind of reiterate the point. And I know there's new people that come in and watch the episodes and stuff like that. So, it is what it is. And like I said, my advice to you has always been what my advice has been. Reason being is because I've gone through this. All right. I was in a 5-year relationship where I was going to get married to her and all that great stuff. And, she decided that the connection just wasn't there and she didn't want to be in a relationship anymore. And, and we amicably split up and it was what it was. It destroyed me because I was like, bro, I've never gotten down on one knee for a woman ever. You know what I mean? Like I did a lot of firsts with her. And so, it really hurt me and I was really damaged. And it was one of those things where what you need to do is you need to start going to the gym and not going to the gym necessarily for like physique reasons, but you do it for your confidence. Because when you start going to the gym regularly, for one, it gets you out of the house. 2, it gets you a little disciplined. It gives you something to kind of look forward to. And the change in your physique comes naturally. So it just comes naturally because you're just going. You're going to get yourself out of the house. You're going to have something to look forward to. And then the physique comes in and you're looking at yourself in the mirror and you're like, okay, and it builds your confidence. Then once you've kind of built your confidence, and you're going to the gym regularly and you're doing things, start working more. Start working more. Why? Because the more you're working, the less you're thinking about the breakup and the more money you're making. If I'm being honest with you, work more, make more money, take that money, put it into a hobby. I don't care what the hobby is. Put it into a hobby. Work with your hands. I don't care if it's building computers. I don't care if it's streaming. I don't care if it's making YouTube videos. Woodworking, working on your car. I don't care what it is. Just find a hobby and put money into it and just start doing stuff for you, man. You know what I mean? Because that's what I did. I started this podcast. This podcast is pretty much the reason why this podcast is because when I got into the gym, I got into the gym because a friend told me, he was like, bro, I get it. You're sad, this and that, but get in the gym, dude. Get in the gym and don't do it for, all the reasons everybody else is in the gym, to have nice physiques and to do all this stuff. No, get in there because it's going to get you out of the house. You go for like 45 minutes to an hour. It gets you out of the house. You know what I mean? And then I started to notice my physique changing. I started to notice my shoulders widening out, my chest getting a little more broader. I started to notice my biceps getting a little bigger. I was just like, wait a minute. And then I started to notice, the way women would look at me a little bit. And then and it built my confidence. It made me feel good. It made me feel like, dang, okay. You can tell by the way I do my walk. I don't know the lyrics. I'm sorry. But you know what I mean? You kind of start feeling yourself a little bit. And I was working a lot more. Because I looked at it like, I don't want to be home. I don't want to be home and be sad and all this kind of shit. Nah, fuck that shit. So I started working more. And I started noticing I was saving a bunch of money. And so I had all this money burning a hole in my pocket. And I thought to myself, I got to do something with this. You know what I mean? And so birth of the podcast. You know what I mean? And now I've grown the podcast to a point where we've been doing it for 2 years. We stream. We've been doing all kinds of fun stuff. And, I've built a bit of a community, whether it's with you guys through streaming, on my Discord, all that kind of stuff. It keeps me mad busy. I'm filming pretty much 3 to 4 episodes a week. I'm editing, streaming 3 times a week. I have so much stuff going on. Like, I ain't got time to think about a bitch. I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't got time. And so, again, it puts you in this mind state of like, you're doing something that you love. You're putting money into something that is really going to grow you as a person. And it's cool because you can share that with other people. Even if it's something you don't do online, even if it's, say you do woodwork. Okay. Say you do woodworking. You just love working with wood and creating cool designs and stuff like that. You can sell that shit on Facebook Marketplace. You can share it with friends. Sell it to friends. You can, go to woodworking classes with other people who enjoy woodworking. Then you're in a community of, people who are like-minded and you guys all are friends. Hey man, let's go get something to drink. We'll go to your house and we'll woodwork some shit. You're woodworking with your new buddy and you got a beer in your hand. Dude, I'm telling you, I would argue for women, it's a little easier when it comes to breakups just because, they tend to get a lot of attention from a lot of dudes because it's one of those things where it's just like, oh, she broke up with her man. Oh, let me swoop in. A lot of people are willing to console them a lot more and want to talk to them a lot more. But for guys, when they go through a breakup, a lot of guys are very lonely and a lot of guys kind of isolate themselves and don't really want to talk to anybody. And that's why I say these are things that you can do where it kind of isolates yourself, but you're also improving yourself. You know what I mean? You're improving yourself. You're not just letting yourself rot and decay in your bed. You're improving yourself. You're making more money. You have a hobby. You're in the gym. You're improving your physique and your confidence all at the same time. All in one fell swoop, you're doing that. So that has always been my advice to guys who are getting out of relationships with women that they, loved and they got done wrong. And, they're constantly thinking about the relationship and they're just sad and all broken down and stuff like that. That is always going to be my answer to that. You know what I mean? But you guys let me know what you think about it in the comments. Let's move on. Okay. What do I do? Boyfriend is on Grindr. That's crazy. 23 female, caught thought I saw Grindr on my boyfriend 25 Male's phone a few days ago. I tried to convince myself that I was crazy and that I wasn't seeing things, but I was eating away, but it was eating away at me. I flat out asked him, have you had a Grindr recently? And he said, no. Why? I told him that I thought I saw it on his phone and that all it took for him was to confess everything. He said it's been a little over 2 months and he was just curious.
Stop the cap.
Nah, I don't think that nigga was curious. Come on now. He said he was watching porn of a guy's friend jerking off together, and it just wasn't satisfying him. So he downloaded Grindr to see other guys' dicks. Wait. So my man loaded up the hub, and he was scrolling through the homepage and was like, huh, 2 best friends jerking their dicks off. Click. And then he was just like, huh, it ain't really doing much for me, but I wonder how that would feel in real life. So my man closes the hub down, downloads Grindr, and it's like, hey, yo, I'm out here trying to get jerked off. Like what? Hold up. Wait a minute. Okay. All right. He would use it every Friday when he was working from home and I was working in the office, and he would delete it every time he used it. Since he was deleting it and making a new profile every time, I couldn't see any past messages, but he told me that they would say hi, he would ask for a pic, and they would send a picture back and forth, but they would never move from Grindr. Early on in our relationship, we had been together for 3 years. He said that there had been times in his life where he thought he could be attracted to guys. This didn't bother me. I'm bisexual and have had relationships with women. But I did jokingly say, just leave me if you ever want to act on it, because I'd rather be brokenhearted than cheated on. And in reality, you ain't trying to date no fruitcake. All right, let's be honest here, bro. Let's be 1,000% honest. Girl, you is not trying to be with no fruitcake dude. You're just not. You're not. And that's fine. I would never sit there and like bash a woman for breaking up with a dude because he low-key being fruity. You know what I mean? Women want a masculine man. That's what it is. You know, like, I ain't gonna lie to you. I would sit there, and if a homegirl of mine told me, oh yeah, my dude is a fruity dude and he doing this and that and wanting to be with dudes and all that kind of stuff, I'd be like, girl, run as fast as you can. Get the fuck about that relationship. You know, it just is what it is. Like, you don't want to be, obviously I get it. She ain't saying that, but we all know that. And if you didn't know that, your train just arrived at the station. Let's just say that. And I know this is cheating, but I don't know what to do. It's so strange because if he had been doing this with women, I would leave in the blink of an eye, but I love him more than anything. He's brought so much joy into my life, and I can't imagine a life without him at this point. What do I do? Do I leave him? Do I try to forgive him? I know this seems absolutely crazy, but the part of me that loves him almost empathizes with him because I know how confusing these feelings can be. But there's also a part of me that flat out hates him for doing this. I moved my entire life for him. He had to move for work, and I went with him, leaving my friends and family 10 hours away, but I was so glad I did because of that move. I have wonderful friends in my life, an amazing job, and that lets me do what I love, and great coworkers, and if I leave him, I am upending my life again. I can't afford to live here on my own. All of my friends here already either have roommates or I know wouldn't like having roommates. Only having a job for 6 months wouldn't be great on my resume, and I love working there. I loved how my life was turning out. I loved the person I was becoming. I loved the relationship I was in. It was near perfect. Yeah, we got into fights, small and big, but we were great at communicating our needs, and I always felt like we grew closer after every fight. We learned something new about each other and ourselves. Yeah, you learned a crazy thing about this man. Jesus. And if I leave, I have to not only start the dating life all over again, but I have to start my entire life all over again. But if I stay, I can rebuild that trust with him. Will there always be a part of me that resents him for it? Will I be able to forgive him? What do I do? All right. I've dealt with this situation a lot. I ain't gonna lie to you. There's been a lot of like married women who have sent me scenarios, and they're like, yeah, I caught my husband on Grindr. I caught my husband cheating on me with a man. My husband is gay. I'm a little more experienced in this than I'd like to be. If I'm being honest with you. You know what I mean? I never thought I would be saying that, but I'm saying that. I'm a little more experienced in this than I thought I'd be. So there's two things. Okay? One, you stay with him. And you kind of embrace this new side of him because you love him and you care about him, and you embrace this new side of him, and you say, look, I don't want us to break up. I understand that you are, working out these feelings. So I want you to work these feelings out, do what it is that you need to do. And then once you have figured it out, come back to me. And we can talk like adults. And if the relationship continues, the relationship continues. All right. And if it doesn't, then it doesn't. But know that if he comes back and the relationship continues, you are going to keep that resentment in the back of your head. It's like as if he cheated on you with a woman and you take him back. You're always going to have that resentment in the back of your head. Like, anytime he talks to another woman, you're going to feel like he's interested in that girl. Anytime that he interacts with a girl, you're going to have this like weird little, doubt about it. Like, you're just going to be skeptical of everything. But for him, it's going to be with dudes. So he's going to hang out with this dude and you're going to just be like, yeah, go have fun. But you're still going to have this little bit of skepticism in your mind of like, is he going to suck his dick? Like, I don't know. Maybe he is. And like, is something going to happen? Is he going to try? So, you know what I mean? You're just always going to have that in the back of your head. And that's just how that's going to be. I get it. You love him and you care about him and you look at it like, oh my God, my life is like on the up and up and I want to keep it on the up and up. And so that's scenario one. Scenario two, you decide to leave him. You decide to look at it like, hey, I'm not comfortable with this. I don't like the idea that, you hid this from me and you were pretty much cheating on me. And I just don't like it. I feel like I thought we already established what this relationship was and what it was going to be in the future. I thought we were already locked in and ready to go. And that's why I made this move and I uprooted my life for you. I just thought that we knew what this was going to be. And apparently, I don't think you're on the same page as I am for the future. And so I got to go. And, you figure that out. And you find out what that is for you. I get it. Both situations are not ideal and they're not the best. Make a pros and cons for each one and be like, okay, if I stay with him, the pro is I will still be with him. I can still care about him and love him. I get to keep my job, keep where I'm living. My lifestyle kind of stays the same. But the cons are, I have to give him the time to deal with this, to figure out what it is and it's going to be very lonely, you know what I mean? Because you're going to be like, damn, I got this boyfriend, but I don't feel like I got a boyfriend, you know what I mean? Because he's trying to figure out if he's gay or not, and if he likes men, if he wants to be with men over you, if he wants you over the men, if he wants to try to have both or whatever it is it's going to be, that's going to suck. then two, you're going to have this resentment all the time, and this a bit of skepticism. Every time he talks to a dude, every time he hangs out with a guy, you're just going to be like, oh, does he like that guy? Man, he's showing a little weird interest. Man, he was touching that guy's waist a little bit. Did he smack that dude's butt because he liked him, or because that's just a dude thing? Because I ain't going to lie to you, I slap my own boys in the booty. I be like, hey, what up, nigga? You know what I mean? I be doing that shit all the time. But it's one of those things where you're going to look at that like, is he doing that in the way of attraction, or is he doing that in the way of like, that's just his boy and, they be fucking around like that. So you're going to have to, weigh the pros and cons, because if you leave, it's like, well, the con is, you got to uproot your life and figure out where you're going to live and go and do all that kind of stuff. But then the pro is you can find somebody who is locked in with you and is on the same page with you for the future and stuff like that. Yeah, is it going to be difficult? 100%. But, at the same time, you'll be able to not really have that burden of, of the resentment. You're not going to have that burden of like, oh my God, he's trying to figure out if, he's gay or not and wants to be with me over men or men over me. Like, you just won't have to think about that. You're just like, that's not my problem no more. So again, you're going to have to pro and con it, because I can't just sit here and say, this is what you should do. I just can't. I can't do that. So, but I can give you two perspectives and just kind of let you pro and con them out and see what's best for your life. But you guys let me know what you think about it in the comments. What do you think she should do? Do you agree with me? Do you think that, making the pros and cons list, do you think she should just stay because she does love him and care about him? Do you think she should just leave and say, fuck that? You don't need that in your life. Let me know. All right. This is going to be our last one for today's episode. If you got this far in the episode, thank you so much. Love you. Appreciate you. You're probably like on your way to work, or you're probably like on your way home or something like that listening to this. So, drive safe. Try not to be laughing too much. I'm kidding. All right. Let's do this. Am I the asshole guy at the gym? Okay. That's all she titled it. Cool. I've been going to this gym for a couple of months now. There's this guy who's here nearly every day I'm here. He's always making eye contact and even once waved. Me being oblivious 90% of the time, didn't realize until after the moment passed. I've maybe exchanged words with him once. He seemed to know a lot of people here and always chatted with other people at the gym. Now he seems to be uncomfortable that I am not looking to chat. Whenever I catch him looking, I just kind of look the other way, maybe even going to the extent of pretending he's not there. He seems like a nice guy and all, but when I am at the gym, I'm not looking to chat. I am here to work out and go home. I also have a hard time focusing, so I'm trying to just get in my groove. Am I the asshole? First off, and you may know this, I don't know. It doesn't seem like you do. I feel like if you knew this, you would have put it in the scenario, but you might have thought like it's implied. So I'm going to just put this out there. You're his gym crush. All right. You're his gym crush. He is crushing hard on you. If he talks to everybody else but you and he's just kind of staring at you, yeah. He fucking loves you. He is just like, oh my Jesus, that's my woman. You know what I mean? And he's nervous. He looks at it like, damn, I really want to go talk to her, but she looks busy. She got headphones in. She's in a set right now. You know what I mean? Like, I ain't gonna lie to you. There was a girl, right, that I used to go to the gym, I go to the gym really early in the morning where there's not really a lot of people. And so this girl, she always went to the gym at the same time as me. And mind you, this is like 5 a.m. I'm like, why is she here at 5 a.m? I didn't question her, nothing. She was really cute. And I would notice it was always just her and I in the morning. I never said anything to her for the longest time. And then I finally said something to her. And, we were able to talk and chat and whatnot. We exchanged Instagrams. And, eventually we got to a point where we were hanging out and stuff like that. Odds are things didn't work out. She was kind of seeing some other dudes and I wasn't really about it. I was like, it's cool. But it's one of those things where for him, he is waiting for that right moment to approach you so bad. He's just looking for that opening moment to approach you. Because I know how it is in the gym. You know what I mean? A lot of times, like for me, before I approached that girl, it was a lot of, I would see her all the time and I would see her consistently. And it just got to a point where I was like, okay, I got to say something. You know what I mean? I got to say something at this point. But I was in the same boat. I ain't going to lie to you, where I was looking for the right moment. And I was just like, okay, I'm going to catch her like right when she comes in. She hasn't started her set yet. She hasn't set up nothing. And I got her right when she came in. So right when she came in, I said something to her, talked, have a conversation, blah, blah, blah. But for him, I think it's a thing. Maybe he's already there, or he gets there after you. So it's like you're already there and then he gets there. I don't know what it is, but I know that he's your gym crush. You know what I mean? Or you're his gym crush. Yeah, you're his gym crush 1000%. He wants to talk to you. And he wants to date. He wants to spark up some conversation. Now, my thing is are you the asshole for not like saying anything? And when he looks at you, you're kind of like, yeah, I wouldn't say you're the asshole. I would just say it's a thing. Give the man a conversation at least. At least one. Feel the vibe out a little bit. I get it. You're there to work out. You're not there to talk and mingle. And I get that 1000%. I do. But I would say at least give the man a conversation. Feel him out a little bit. And if he's a cool dude enough to where you could be friends and cordial and stuff like that, cool. But if he's a little weird and stuff like that, then, maybe not. But again, it's a thing where if you don't have feelings for him, make sure to let him know that. So that way this like weird relationship doesn't continue and just kind of make you more uncomfortable. That's what I always say. I always say it's a thing where it's just like, have conversations with these people, feel them out. And if you want to be friends and only friends, make that known and make that a thing. If you do find the person and you're like, dang, maybe, what I mean? You can do that too. I wouldn't recommend it, but, but it's one of those things where it's just like, at least give the man a conversation, that way you can kind of lay down your rules or your boundaries or whatever it is and just let them know, hey, I'm not really looking for somebody right now, or hey, I'm not really, trying to date, or hey, I'm just usually here to work out and go home. I noticed, we've been exchanging looks and this and that, blah, blah, blah. Just, just give them that at least courtesy conversation. That's how I feel about it anyway. You guys might have a different outlook on that. I don't know. Let me know down in the comments about this situation, as well as everything we've gone over today and the thread. Thank you guys so much for being here. I appreciate you guys for listening to another beautiful episode. Hope you guys have an amazing Thanksgiving. We will be having a Thursday episode, so there will be an episode on Thanksgiving. Don't worry, I got y'all. So you guys will still get your King of Wrath. I believe we're going to be doing chapters 34 and 35. I might do like a couple more chapters. I'm not 100% sure, but we will be continuing the book. Don't worry, just because it's a holiday don't mean you guys ain't getting an episode. I got y'all. Love you guys. I'll see you on Thursday, and peace.